too much power in the world. Make that so
I love that. That was incredible.
That was so much fun. Thank you. And thank you for traveling from all over the world. Every one of your stories, I see it on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and I'm so overwhelmed and grateful.
What was it like sitting down and getting to watch it again this time?
Why are you acting professional? You're number one fan.
So you're watching it back on the big screen at the premiere. Does it feel different seeing it now?
I'm tired. That was such an intense show, 91 of those shows, and I showed up to pretty much every single one that I could. And I showed up, well, sometimes it's out of my control, but I showed up with 100% of me, no matter what the day or the situation in my own life, and the highs, the lows, the happiness, the sadness, all of it. I showed up.
You really did.
And it wasn't always easy. I was like, that was show number 80 that you saw, and I was, constantly fighting for just, I'm 41 years young, and I'm still doing it. Yeah.
But not just that, you were flying around, you were doing a whole thing. It wasn't just you're standing with the microphone.
Well, the funny thing is, Ash, it was Ash who created it. So Ash and Anne who helped me come up with these, I have these dreams and then they ground them in reality. But it's always like, I came up with this stage on a cocktail napkin in Brazil. And it comes to life, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much bigger than a cocktail napkin. And, but they make my dreams come true, and it seems like every show that I create, I'm just always challenging myself, pushing myself, and I'm just trying to give the fans what they deserve. And I think we have a really wonderful relationship where they trust me and I trust them, and I know that they work so hard to pay for these tickets, and they travel around. There's food, there's hotels, there's buses, there's all kinds of expenses, and their money is valuable, and I'm gonna give them their money's worth every time.
I saw there was a little announcement made a little bit before the movie. It's going to go high.
There was. One of the reasons why I encapsulated this film, I put it into a capsule, is because I want my fans in India, I want my fans in the Philippines, I want my fans in Indonesia, in Africa, in all the places in Asia to experience the LifeTimes tour. We may not have been able to get there this time around, but they get to have their own version here, and it's going to be on the big screen coming out late summer, so I'm excited for that. It's a whole other tour, but different, so I'm excited to see the fans in their costumes, because every night of the show, all the fans, they dressed up, and it was it was just a celebratory holiday, it seemed, every night of the show.
It really seemed that way, and it seems also what I thought was beautiful, and seeing it today with your beautiful dancers wherever they're sitting, just seeing the camaraderie and how close y'all were during the whole show and the tour. Well, how important is that for making a tour, 91 shows work out?
Everybody has a role to play, and everybody has a purpose, and everybody is important. I think you see that in the example of your own individual fingerprint. There's no accidents in a human, in a life. And on my tour, especially when I'm touring over 100+ people going from city to city, sometimes behind the scenes things happen. Someone gets sick, someone misses a flight, blah, blah, blah. We just have to move forward. We are a well-oiled machine, but this is a machine, and every part matters. And like I said at the end, this is oneness. oneness, this is community, this is what oneness actually looks like. Working in harmony for the greater good, working in harmony, for the music, for the joy, for the audience, for that energy that is so tangible. You can even feel 10% of it here tonight. Imagine what that's like in real life. It's powerful.
It is powerful. And yes. Well, I want to get to the tea, because they told me they were going to be accountable if I didn't ask the tea. So I have a few questions about the making of this tour. One of them has to do with set lists. There were some rumors that there were certain songs that were going to be on the set list that might have been cut the week before. Never Really Over comes to mind.
I can remember mostly everything, but I'm drawing a blank there. You know, there were a couple of songs, but it's tough because I love seeing all of them, and I always want a new record to be represented on a tour. And I also know that people came to see the hits. When I go to a show of like my peer or my favorite, I want them to play the songs that I know, because I'm getting drunk and I'm in the audience and I'm the #1 fan, and when that song comes on, that's my song, right? So I want to duplicate that feeling for my own fans, but still I have to introduce them to new songs. And then also I tend to talk a lot. So, you know, any show that goes over 2 hours is just, you know, we get hungry.
Well, we never got a smile tour, so.
We did it, but you got COVID instead.
So, one of my questions was, before you went on tour, you talked, and I want to quote you, you said, "This tour was all about rebirth for me, and it's all about change, and that's how I get through this karma of the game of life." Is the Katy Perry we're seeing today, 91 shows later, with the festival tour ahead of you this summer, is this reborn Katy?
There is no there. Every day is a fantastic journey, and every day is a chance to evolve and to be a better person and do the right thing and to be a model for your community, for your family, for your world. And I would say now at the end of 91 shows, I feel like a more grounded person in so many aspects of my life. I am very loved. And actually that show was after I met the love of my life, and so I felt very anchored by that, because I'm a little bit like a rainbow kite. I fly super high and, like, you know, touch the veil, cosmos. And sometimes I need to be anchored, and so to have that anchor finally makes me feel really whole now. So I think that, yes, I did follow the butterfly, and I never knew really what the butterfly meant to me, but it was a metamorphosis, and it still continues to be a metamorphosis, and I would give that advice to everyone, to follow the inner butterfly inside of them.
That's gorgeous. Another Katy question for you. Back to that. So during the show, we got to meet Mr. Beret walking on air, which, justice for walking on air, everyone?
I mean, I think some of them are having their time. You know, time doesn't work on our little clock. It's going to have its moment.
Let's talk about that. Answer my clock thing, y'all. Let's talk about it. So it's been really interesting. Maybe you're referring to this comeback of Legendary Lovers. I saw there was somebody claiming that they were told it was a single.
For you.
We were told that would be a single, or he was told that would be a single.
I was so drunk that night. That was 12 years ago. You were 12. I think I probably winked at him and said, "It's gonna be a single." You know, we make plans and then God laughs. And says, "Wait, 12 years later?"
Literally 12 years later, has this comeback with Chief Keef. How do you find out about that? And what made you decide that you wanted to put out a little remix?
I'm just sitting at home enjoying my tea, hanging out with my daughter, and then, Cynthia calls me and she says, "Log on! TikTok is on fire!" And I'm like, "Okay, whoa, all right, here we go." So we log on and we log on and lock in. And we see a wave, and I feel like something has shifted inside of me. I feel like everything has a season, everything has a time. And, at 41, I'm trying all different things and have had so many privileges and checked so many boxes in goals and things and climbed so many mountains. I mean, honey, I climbed Everest. I don't need to climb it again, but I will climb other mountains. And sometimes those mountains are just taking my daughter to school on a bicycle, And so there has to be balance in my life for me to actually show up as a whole human being. And now that the balance is more instated, I feel like I can really lean in.
I love that so much. You mentioned your daughter. This is the first tour that she got to
FaceTimed me.
Oh.
She was like, she's yelling at me because she doesn't really understand what's going on, but all I could hear her say was, "Mom, I want to come to the Bronx!" Okay. Sure, let me call you after this. She is something else. She's a force. She tells me exactly what she thinks.
What was that like on tour? Like, this is the first tour you got to witness. Wait.
It was amazing. Like, I think, as mothers and fathers, we're just modeling something to our children. And all we can hope for is that they will grow up into better versions of ourselves and themselves, right? And so I think if I'm out there living my most authentic, free, supported, empowered, smart, sexy, whole bit life, she's gonna have a pattern to follow, a model to follow. And so any parent, I think, that can actually do that, I think it's really valuable to bring your kids to work.
So looking back, in the Part of Me documentary, one of my favorite scenes is you do something like that. You are going through a really tough personal moment and you go up and you smile and you perform. Exactly. How many of those moments were there on this tour and how did you get through it all?
I'm different now. Your 20s are for emotions. Your 30s are for sorting them. And your 40s are for fucking not caring about them. Those emotions and turning them into gasolina. Finally transmuting all those emotions into a creative something. And so, we're all human here, and it doesn't matter. It's like sadness doesn't discriminate. Grief does not discriminate. Pain does not discriminate. Like, everybody is subjected to it in their own ways. And last year was probably one of the hardest years of my life. And I went through a fuck ton. And there were days that were really, 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 really hard. And I just kept going because I made a promise to my fans. I made a promise to my daughter. I made a promise to myself. And I got through it. I walked through the fire, because everybody has to walk through their own fire. And if you're walking through hell, you keep going, because on the other side of hell is definitely heaven. It was the most successful tour of my life, though, because it's all about how you measure success. And for me, success is not a number, it's a feeling.
Can you say that that's the legacy of the LifeTimes tour then?
The LifeTimes tour is just a chapter in my book. And my book is only halfway written.
So, back to the Katy Cat questions, walking in. So we talked about set lists. You're going to be going on this festival run this summer.
The cats have no idea what it's about. But like when they ask me questions, I'm very direct. It's just I'm not going to give away the whole thought, just right then and there.
Justice for hiring your supply.
Any response to that?
It's training.
So about the festival run, I'm curious how the set list is going to shift from what we saw on LifeTimes tour. We've already got introduced to some interesting characters, an alien-like figure, some
I'm
very...
sorry, aliens. It's prime, honey. Yes, and we have not even rolled out all of the characters. It's not as big of a show, but it still packs as much punch. And it's really from like, a lot of it is from the perspective of me being a fan of music. I mean, I think anyone that's a fan of me and knows my life, they see me at the shows. I love music. I love being in the audience. I love the audience experience. And also, I just know what the energy's got to be at a festival. So, you know, like sometimes when you're going to a festival, you don't know all the deepest cuts, but you know, like, you know, Never Really Over and Watch It Burn and stuff like that.
I was looking at the clock and I was like, we haven't touched on Watch It Burn.
Oh, toot.
Tell me about that. Somebody commented on my video to ask you whether it was going to drop this year, and I would like more specific.
No, I didn't say that. I saw what they said, and then I commented on the video and said, ask her if it's coming this year or not. Because I am a rat and a cat. It's coming. We have a couple orders of business to take care of next week first, but then it's coming. And the fans will have it first.
Did that answer for y'all? Well, thank you, Katy, for this. This is incredible. Will you all agree?
To me for so many years, so round of applause for tonight. And my band and my dancers, and my management team and my producers and everyone that worked so hard. Everybody was so integral to making this happen. Thank you, Dan, and first and foremost, and last, and all of it, Tribeca, how we are so honored to be here. Thank you so much. This is like, we've made it.